Absent this evening, Councilmember Veros,
Here.
Vice Mayor Perkins,
Here.
Mayor Hudson.
Here.
Thank you.
Seems like we got a quorum. Yeah. Okay, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And what's our first item, please?
Item 3, announcements. 3.1, changes and additions to the agenda. We have none this evening. Item 3.2, if you wish to speak under public comment, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room and bring it over to the city clerk. Item 4, public comment. This is a reminder to the public that they're permitted to address the city council on any non-agenda item relating to the business of the city council. Items that are on consent, including requests to pull an item from the consent calendar and the reason why you wish to pull the item. Requests for future agenda items, special presentation items under section 6 of the agenda, and items that are not on the agenda but are within the city council's jurisdiction.
Okay, thank you. Public comment is open. Do we have any cards?
I do not have any cards this evening,
Okay, but we do have written.
not for this item.
Okay.
Well, we have a request to pull item
Correct.
5.9 from Ariel Strauss. It's essentially the same comments that he had submitted for the last meeting regarding the general plan update.
And that's a consent calendar though, right?
It's a consent.
Okay,
calendar.
let's close the public comment. What's the next item?
Item 5, consent calendar.
I move,
There you go.
I move the consent calendar.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion?
Before the final vote, can I please read the ordinances by title?
Yes, please.
For item 5.9, ordinance 522 by title only, repealing the North Caminos Ramon specific plan development standards and zoning regulations for the plan area and amending the zoning map and zoning ordinance implementing the Santa Rosa General Plan 2040 project. Ordinance 523, amending the Santa Rosa Village specific plan development standards and zoning regulations for the plan area implementing the Santa Rosa General Plan 2040 project. And ordinance 524, amending the zoning map related to an approximate 0.13 plus or minus acre area within the Deerwood Road unincorporated island.
We're done.
There we go. Okay.
It's like a roll.
Item passes 4-0 or 4-1 with Councilmember Rubio absent.
401. Next item, please.
Item 6, special presentation. 6.1, recognition of the Outstanding Teen Citizenship Award recipient. Introduction by Jessica Raber, Recreation Supervisor.
Good evening, Mayor Hudson and council members. Thank you so much just for the opportunity to be here this evening and to just highlight one of our outstanding teens. So the Outstanding Teen Citizenship Award, that program started with the Teen Council in 2011 and was then awarded to an outstanding teen in the community at that time. And the program has been ongoing ever since. Each year, the Teen Council puts out applications for those teens within the community who are doing community service above and beyond their peers, that are giving back to their communities and are involved and committed. And so we just want to take this opportunity to highlight some of the great things that our teens are doing. And without further ado, I will welcome up our chair of the Teen Council, Sadhana, so that she can introduce our winner this year.
Evening.
Good evening, everyone. It's my honor to present this year's Outstanding Teen Citizenship Award winner, Shelby A. Shelby is a senior at Doherty Valley High School, and she has a passion for connecting community members and creating STEM programs in the Bay Area. As an outreach director of the STEMpathize program, she aims to help students gain exposure to various topics such as computer science, chemistry, and biology. During her time with this organization, she has led teams with students from Doherty Valley High School, Monte Vista High School, and California High School. Through her leadership, Shelby has allowed students from San Ramon to connect over their passion of STEM and their wish to also give back to the community. Despite the difficulties in building conversations and connections through virtual settings, Shelby consistently tries and has tried to make the online environment as engaging as possible through weekly team discussions, team building activities, and one-on-one meetings with each volunteer. STEMpathize began as an online group, and since her time with this program, Shelby has also launched an internship program, extended outreach for workshops internationally, and began the first set of STEMpathize in-person workshops. Overall, Shelby has dedicated numerous hours to help educate the residents of San Ramon through the STEMpathize program. She has made a positive impact on the community and is deserving of the Outstanding Teen Citizenship Award. Congratulations, Shelby.
Congratulations, Shelby.
Thank you.
Speech.
Thank you. Yeah, Shelby, you're gonna give a 20-minute speech.
Hi, everyone. I just want to start off by giving a huge thank you, and I'm really, really honored to be here today and to be recognized for receiving this award. And I just want to kind of thank the educators in our community for providing me with a really, really robust education in San Ramon. And I think to me, this award is kind of the first step to also continue my work with San Ramon, but to also give back to communities who may not have the same resources that we have, and to kind of extend that really robust and organic education to others. And again, I would just like to say that I'm really so honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question for you. You have a career goal that you've thought about?
I have like areas of study that I really like to do, but I know in the future I want to work with people, hopefully.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I just,
Thank you.
Okay.
I'd just like to say, it was a privilege having dinner with you the other evening at the Chamber of Commerce WOW Awards, our annual award dinner, where they also recognized you as the outstanding teen citizen of the year. So congratulations for that. That was your sister with you?
Yes, she
at that
was.
dinner
Yes,
as
she
well?
was.
Yeah, it was nice to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you. It was nice to
Oh,
see
I
you.
have a quick question on this one. So as soon as there's a word like STEM and computer science, that just pops up my mind, right? So what exactly in the computer science is it like teaching the programming, or what exactly the services you're
So
doing?
we have programs for both like elementary school students and middle school students. Right now, we're kind of, because it's high school led, we teach the basics of computer science.
Computer science. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for your service.
Sorry, and I did want to add one thing. I'm so sorry for being remiss and earlier. That's why I stood up to say that the chamber has also, in the last several years, recognized the outstanding teen citizen and provided the award that she holds. And so we just appreciate the partnership with the chamber and the opportunity to recognize our teens on a bigger platform.
Not remiss, you're just waiting for the right time to slip in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shelby. Okay. Any further discussion? Next item, please.
Item 6.2, introduction of newly promoted Public Works Division Manager, John Bell. Introduction by Maria Ferner, Public Works Director.
Well, she comes every night.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. It is my great pleasure to be introducing you to our new Public Services Division Manager, John Bell. Is with the Public Works Department. He's recently been promoted, and we're very excited for him to be on board and ready to take on that role. John grew up in Concord and graduated from Concord High, so he's a Bay Area, raised in the Bay Area. After high school, he did start working for public sector for the city of Clayton. Started doing some part-time work there, starting to get his feel for the Public Works Department. And while he was doing that, he was going to community college. Then he attended Eastern New Mexico University, played football and continued his education and graduated with a business administration degree. After that, he ended up, this is in 2005, so after that, he applied for the city of San Ramon and ended up getting a position here in our parks maintenance program in the Public Works Department. So that's when he started his career here with the city of San Ramon in 2005. He grew quickly, getting promoted, working on his skills and his abilities. He then went to apply for the irrigation specialist. He got his certifications in that area, moved over to the landscape program. And then in a few years after that, he was promoted as a coordinator in the parks program. So we're starting to really get a lot of that experience going. So soon after that, in 2019, he was promoted to a supervisor in the landscape program. And then soon after that, he was, So in 2019, that's when the COVID time hit, and he used his time really well. He ended up being very motivated, got accepted into Cal State Northridge to get his MPA. So he received his master's in public administration in 2001. In 2002, we had the recruitment. Yes, 2021.
Okay.
Yes. In 2002, he was promoted to the
2022?
what am I saying?
You're saying 2002.
22. I missed a two. Sorry.
Didn't know if we had a time machine thing. working
No,
here.
I'm so sorry. In 2022, he was promoted to the Public Services Program Manager in Landscape. And then now he has been promoted to Division Manager. So definitely has been really working to move up in the ranks and is very well liked, respected in the department, very analytical, very much of a people person, and great leadership. As far as outside of work, he does enjoy sports, coaching sports, spent over a decade coaching high school football, loves the Niners, San Francisco Giants, and the Warriors, and loves music. He has a family, his wife, Erin, and 3 kids, Riley, Major, and Harlow. Harlow of which is performing at a Christmas program right now. So with that, I would like to welcome John to this new position. Thank you very much. And we really look forward to all you can do here with the city.
Thank you, Maria. Welcome, John. Take particular joy out of taking people from Concord and Clayton. Now I get to go bug Laura Hoffmeister and Pete Lawrence.
Good evening, Mayor Hudson, council members, city manager, city attorney. I'm super humbled and grateful for this opportunity. I've been here 18 years, and I'm really honored to work for an organization that values elite service. I'm thankful to the residents and the council members for always providing us with the resources we need. I'm thankful to a great staff, from the field staff, administrative support, to the supervisors we have that are dedicated to meeting those levels of expectation. I want to thank Maria. She's been a real personal and professional mentor to me. What she's done for Public Works overall in her time here has been incredible. You know, her leadership is going to be a part of my roadmap moving forward. I also have to thank Robin. In the last year, Robin's been an incredible mentor to me. Super intelligent, super giving with information, kind of helped me along through this process. You know, a lot of these things kind of happen really quick, and I've leaned on a lot of people. Got a great program manager group: Brent, Darren, Gary, Carrie, and Mike. They're very intelligent, great subject matter experts, really know their programs well. I got to thank my wife. She really pushes me. She's the one that if you could apply for the president's job, she'd say, go for it. You know, she sees the hard work and the dedication. A couple of people I got to thank that got me here. Glenn Sauter hired me here. Jeff Galt's been incredible in transition. Sean Anderson, I know you're watching in Arizona. Thank you for volunteering me all those projects that kind of helped me on my path here. So I'm thankful for that. And to my 3 kids, they don't really know what I do, but they're gonna watch this on YouTube and they think I'm a YouTuber. So for
Okay.
that, they think I'm kind of a celebrity. So
Well, you are.
that's gonna be cool. So thank you. I'm very honored, but also there's work to be done, and I'm ready to meet those challenges that we're gonna face in the future head on. And we have the team to make sure that San Ramon is always moving forward in a great, positive way.
So when it starts raining, you're the one we call, right?
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
Okay. John, glad to have
Alcosta
you.
starts overflowing.
Somebody's got to go buy him a lapel pin. You
I
got
have one.
Oh,
She didn't
okay.
wanna-
All right.
We didn't want to have a near miss or anything
Okay.
on council, so.
Congratulations,
John.
Yeah.
I enjoyed working with you and seeing you out there when you're a program manager, and I look forward to great things as a division manager. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, John. You know, you have a very high benchmark, right? Because all the great work you guys do. So
Mhm.
that's why you have the best benchmark, I think, in the whole Bay Area. So
Mhm.
you have definitely a big roadmap. Hopefully, just what Maria did for our city, you will
Mhm.
continue to do that one for us.
Yeah,
Thank
keep
you.
Jeff Galt's phone number handy.
Oh, yeah, he said to call me anytime, and I said, oh, I will. So it's exciting, it's motivating. I'm ready for the challenge. So
Mhm.
got work to do, so let's get to work.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Take Jeff up on the first. Okay, next item, please.
Item 7, deferred consent items, there are none. Item 8, unfinished business. 8.1, resolution 2023-134, accepting the report by Baypack Consult, Inc. regarding the bridge type of the Crow Canyon Road Iron Horse Trail Bicycle and Pedestrian Overcrossing, providing direction to staff with regard to the preferred type, and appropriating $259,121 from the general fund to CIP 905531 for a total project budget of 2.5 million.
You say Robin, and just like that, here he appears. Cheers, Robin.
Well, good evening, Mayor and council members. So I'm picking back up where we left off a couple of sessions ago. And since then, we have conducted our survey, but let me do a brief recap if I may. So at our last meeting, when we discussed this, we went over 3 options that PAC had analyzed and prepared these renderings for. And those distilled down into a selection of 2 types from that list, which included the truss arch shown here. And then we also included the butterfly arch shown here. And then there was the suggestion of a 3rd type, which was kind of a traditional truss that you would commonly see on a railroad line. So we took these 3 ideas and presented them to the public and asked for their input on what they would like to see. And so here, without further ado, is the results of the poll. And they came back, and 70% of the respondents, and we had 1,981 people respond to that poll, so we had pretty good input. 70% preferred the butterfly. Number 2 was the truss arch, and number 3 was the railroad truss. So, of course, this wasn't really a scientific poll, but I think those results are fairly definitive on what the public opinion is. So again, as we presented this to the public, all of these options have more or less the same cost within a reasonable range. They're expected to have similar impacts to the traveling public during construction, and will have essentially the same functionality when complete. So with that, I'd like to just briefly go over some of the other comments we received from the public. We received a lot of comments, but of course, most of them were really just people emphasizing why they had chosen what they had chosen. But I wanted to highlight some of the input that we received from the public that, went a little bit further, and they provided some additional information. So there were about 171 comments that went beyond just the routine. And I'm just talking about things where there was some constructive input about what we might be able to use. So over 100 of those comments dealt with the bridge color, and just like the council had suggested, that the vast majority of those were requesting that it be white or some other light color. 32 respondents expressed appreciation for the city doing the project and requested that it be done as quickly as possible. Not really much of a surprise there, I think, for most of you. However, there were 20 people who decided they didn't really like any of the options and that there shouldn't even be a bridge at all.
They obviously haven't gone down the Iron Horse Trail.
There's always some. So another 15 expressed a preference for something similar to the bridge that's under construction on Bollinger right now.
They write us a $10 million check. We could probably do that.
Yeah. And I did think it was notable that we did get half a dozen respondents who really just expressed appreciation for having been asked their opinion. And one wished us a Merry Christmas, so I thought I'd add that. So recapping the costs. So if we look at the Butterfly Arch Bridge, the design cost about $2.5 million. The probable construction cost, this was actually the cheapest of our alternatives, a little over $15 million. On top of that, there would be construction engineering, $2.4 million. We've included a $2 million allowance in our estimate for utility relocation. That would more or less be the same no matter what option is chosen. And a total range of probable costs, therefore, in about the $20 to $22 million range, or if you look at the truss arch, $21 to $23 million range. Railroad truss, again, we did not do the detailed analysis on that, but it would expect it to be in the same range of costs. So that's the primary information I had for you. There is a resolution that I just wanted to bring back up.
Yep.
This is a grant-funded project that comes from a federal earmark. So we do need to have a city allocation and contribution to that federal earmark. This is why we are requesting the appropriation of $259,121 from the general fund to the CIP 905531. That'll bring the total budget to $2,534,471. The difference between those two being money that was already spent on preliminary design and environmental issues.
Okay, thank you, Robin. Any questions of staff before I open the public comment? Do we have any cards? Christina, while I'm looking at.
I have not received any.
Okay, go ahead, Scott. You look like you're ready. to
No,
ask.
I was gonna say
Sorry,
thank you to Robin, engineering staff, city manager, doing that quick turnaround on that survey. And honestly, to get 1,900 responses was far more than I expected. And with a 70% really dominated, I kind of figured anything that got over about 45% would probably be the way we'd go. And I'm grateful it was unambiguous. It makes life a little easier in that regard. So thank you, and thank our bridge consultant. And with that, I'll make the motion to.
Wait a minute, let me go.
Well, you
Just
can make
to-
a motion.
oh,
and
go
we
ahead, you're-
Second a discussion. You can do whatever you want there, Mr. Mayor.
Well, did we do public comment?
We did.
Okay.
No, I asked if there were any cards. We'll open the public comment. Now you can go ahead and make the motion. There's no cards. Any written?
Not for this item.
Okay, go ahead,
Okay,
Scott.
so
I interrupt.
you can still have discussion, so
Sure.
it doesn't preclude the discussion. So.
Look at that. I jumped in there ahead of them.
I
There we
missed it.
go. Any
Okay.
other discussion? So I'm just.
Well, Well, I've got just a couple comments, and I appreciate the quick turnaround on the survey as well. I've been thinking a lot about this, and my initial reaction was to go with the railroad or some kind of a trust thing, just because of the historical nature of it. I know a lot of people didn't understand the history. I saw some comments about that. They didn't understand the whole tie-in to the railroad concept, but we could have put some kind of a interpretive signage or something there. But frankly, I agree with the public on this. I think it is the most cost-effective one. It's slender, it's sleek, it has good sight lines and good visibility for the butterfly arch concept. And just from what I could read in the report, I think sounds like it's simpler to construct. Even it's again our most cost-effective one, and I think it's the way we go. And I agree with the public on this one.
So you lean on Ivan, tell him he's got 18 months.
Mhm.
You see how that's working
Yeah,
out there,
so
right?
it's like almost 2.5%. It was a very good sample, very good sample we had.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised. So yep, definitely we'll go with what our community wanted. So I would definitely vote for butterfly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that we asked the question. I really
Yeah.
am.
Yep, never hurts to ask.
Yeah.
Thank you,
If
Rob.
it come
Thank
out
you.
33, 33, 33, then we all.
Then we'd have to do 3 of them.
Then we have to-
One in each direction.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've opened and closed the public comment?
Yeah.
And
Public
with
close.
yes, no, and seconded, I seconded
We
it.
already did it.
So we
You don't
end
have
the vote.
There we go.
Looks like everybody wants to go with the butterfly.
Mhm.
Okay, next item, please.
Item 9, new business. 9.1, Senior Citizen Advisory Committee Annual Report. Introduction by Steve Cox, Recreation Supervisor, and presentation by Richard Adler, Senior Advisory Committee Chair.
Good evening, Mayor Hudson, City Council members, staff, and members of the public. Thank you for having us here tonight. It is recommended tonight that the City Council receive the Senior Citizens Advisory Committee Annual Report for 2022, 2023, and provide feedback to the Senior Advisory Committee for the 2023-2024 term. And now to give that annual report, I'd like to introduce Richard Adler, the current chair.
Evening, Richard.
Good evening. Happy holidays to everyone. I think I've been here like four times in a row, which is unusual for me. But I have the distinct pleasure of being the chair of the Senior Advisory Committee. So it's good to have somebody younger than you that can work on the technology. Anyway, thank you very much, Mayor Hudson and Vice Mayor Armstrong, members of the City Council, to present, for the opportunity to present the report. We've had a great staff, a great members of the committee have been dedicated this year, but we couldn't do it without the staff, which includes Steve Cox, Susie Chow. We've got Kathy Schiller, Becky Adams have really all helped us along the way, kept us on track. The members of the Senior Advisory Committee we've been fortunate to have a full committee this year, and the current Senior Advisory Committee members are myself, Richard Adler as chair. We have Joan Ernst. We have V. Chick, Colette Clark, who gave the report last year as she was the chair last year, Sandra March, Wayne Mortensen, Judy Murphy, and our alternate is Carlos Carrazzo. And all of these members have been important to provide feedback, and they each provide a unique perspective. For instance, Wayne is big in transportation. He also has a law enforcement background, and Joan is always in the Senior Advisory Committee working on the library, get the books in order. So they're not just in the meetings, but they're doing things at other opportunities when they can help seniors. The object, well, according to the laws for the Senior Advisory Committee, the object and charge of the committee are what guides us along the way. And first of all is to provide recommendations to the staff, the commission, and the city council on programs for seniors and the San Ramon Senior Center policies. We also are a channel of communication between the staff, the senior center participants, and the senior community. And I just wanted to add, one of the ways we are a channel of communication is we try to meet with seniors every month if we can and get feedback on what they're thinking. And we come up with ideas that we think will help forward seniors along the way. We also appoint appropriate subcommittees as necessary to further the work of the center's programs and the efforts of the committee. We receive input from the senior community involving current and future needs. We advocate senior issues within the entire community and act as a liaison for senior issues to the governmental and private organizations. We each are a liaison. We are connected to other entities within the government, which we report back on, keep everybody informed on what's going on. And we also, number 6, identify problems of service and recommend appropriate solutions. One of those problems we are dealing with is updating our computer equipment. So they're getting old now. So we're getting help from the foundation on changing the computers. Another thing we do for accomplishments and actions over the last year, we collaborate with staff regarding best practices to highlight and celebrate the significance of seniors in San Ramon during the National Senior Center Month in September. And we held a Live Well resource fair, which took place on Thursday, September 28th of this year. The event featured vendors that offered essential community services such as health care providers and resources, senior living facilities, and home helper companies. And it was a good group. We had over 300 seniors and their family who came in and enjoyed the connections with the vendors. We had them inside and outside, and we had to make sure that they didn't neglect people that were on the perimeter because we had so many vendors there that were helping our seniors. More accomplishments and actions over the last year. We research and suggest new modern variations of events and programs to staff for the enjoyment of aging population of San Ramon, including newly retired and working individuals 55 and over. So we like to mix it up, and we like to get the feedback from seniors to find out what new ideas we might be able to incorporate within the El Costa Senior Center. And on September 11th of this year, the staff presented information to the Senior Advisory Committee on new programs and activities that have been introduced. And one of the things that we did is that we've offered new drop-in classes, which included gentle chair aerobics, beginner improver line dance, canasta, knitting for beginners, and the return of Monday movie matinees through popular demand. New registration programs included beginning hula dance, core power and fitness, dance cardio, shine, dance fitness, mindfulness practice, qigong, gentle chair yoga, and weekday wind down with yoga. So not only are we concerned with social events, but also physical and mental ways to improve our seniors. Let's see. So the other accomplishments we partner with staff to conduct a goal-setting workshop where previous goals are reviewed and new goals are recommended in preparation of the committee's annual report. And August 28th of this year, the Senior Advisory Committee conducted a goal-setting workshop at the center, and the workshop served as an open discussion for the committee to reflect on our achievements, access the progress, and to chart a course for the future. Also, other accomplishments and actions over the year, we work with staff to develop and conduct an orientation for the new Senior Advisory Committee members, which included a tour of the El Costa Senior and Community Center Park and Gardens. We also give them a binder with bylaws and information about the senior center. Another thing we did was we visited local assisted living facilities to better understand their needs and how we at the El Costa Senior and Community Center could provide complementary service to enrich the lives of the residents. So if we have members at the senior centers around the town, and some of the centers don't have everything we have at the senior center. So we want to make sure that the people that live in those facilities have an opportunity to visit the El Costa Senior and Community Center and partake in what we have to offer. The Senior Advisory Committee members presented the information they gathered at the September 11th, 2023 Senior Advisory Committee meeting. We, members of the Senior Advisory Committee, we purposely went out to other senior centers in the Bay Area. I happened to go to Mountain View. My sister lives there, and they have a really nice center, and I met with their committee. We talked about what we do here, and they were interested in the fact that we had Encore, the Encore magazine that they, that we use to help seniors know what is happening, and I thought that was a great idea. So we presented the information that we gathered during these visits at that September 11th meeting. We, as I said earlier, we also have liaisons. Vice Chair Armstrong is the liaison to our committee, and we also we have liaisons to other committees within San Ramon, City Council, Parks and Community Services, Planning Commission, Transportation Advisory Committee, Teen Council, Library Advisory Committee, Housing Advisory Committee, and the Arts Advisory Committee. Also, the Senior Center Foundation, which I partake on, and Vice Chair Armstrong also is on that committee, and also the Senior Outreach Committee. So this gives us an opportunity to really see kind of how we all are connected, and it's a great opportunity to kind of understand our city a little better. Goals that are coming up for the next year is to engage with senior living facilities again, because we like that. We think that's a good idea, to gather feedback on services that their residents might be interested in and provide information about programs and activities offered at the El Costa Senior and Community Center for individuals age 55 and above. Number two, objective is to provide staff with feedback to revise the survey questions being asked from the previous senior needs assessment, and to provide support in the dissemination of an updated senior needs assessment. Number three is to review the outcomes of the senior needs assessment and provide feedback regarding the findings. And lastly, four is to collaborate with staff to identify important information to be included in a welcome package tailored for new San Ramon residents age 55 and over. And I think that's another great thing that kind of welcomes seniors that are moving here. Number 5, recognize and select senior citizens and or aging related organizations who have significantly contributed to enhancing the quality of life of senior residents in San Ramon on a triannual basis. This year, actually, at the last meeting, we presented the recognition to Cam and Phil Reed, who have been involved. You know, you've got people. Huh?
You do that every year.
Yeah, well, they are. I mean, they're essential. I mean, that's what makes our center so great, is we have great people working there, driving buses and everything else. We hold a goal setting workshop where previous committee goals are reviewed and new goals are recommended in preparation for the committee annual report. And we also collaborate with the teen council to propose intergenerational program ideas that can be implemented at the El Casa Senior and Community Center. And it's a really important dynamic I wanted to say about this, about the teens. I mean, I think seniors and teens really can get along very well, and a lot of mutual respect and need. Really, seniors really need some technology needs, at least I do. And the seniors are great in that area. And it's just a great relationship that I think we need to always have. I think that's about it for me. Any questions about?
I got
Go ahead, Scott. Start us up.
the Aspenwood senior housing at the corner of Kimball and Alcosta, just a few blocks from our senior center, should be opening, I believe it's February or March. Is that, I'm hearing? Sound about right? Yeah, sound about right. That's 122 senior units. And those are below market rate units. So I suspect that they will be very interested in some of the programs that are available. So I see Becky in the back going, yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. It's on your radar, and I really appreciate that. And that's a group that's going to be, they're close by. They will have a transportation in their facility, but they're, you know, I don't know how they're going to work that, but of course we have our transportation as well. The other one is Belmont Village, and that's what, almost 300 units, Debbie? Yeah, it's on the order of 300 units, and that's got 7 levels of care, I believe. Is it 5 or 7? Doesn't matter. But it's got from independent living all the way through memory care, and most of the ones in between. Now that one I expect will have a lot of internal facilities and programs, but I would still reach out to them. But that's not going to be open till the end of next year at the earliest, something like that. Yeah, I think it'll be this time next year, but keep it on your radar. And when you have that brochure and you have the encore, make copies available for each of those residents. And
That's a great idea.
you know, you could find another Phil and Cam Reed somewhere amongst them that will, you know,
excellent idea.
It can be, you know, in some of these cases, I suspect that these programs can literally be lifesavers. When people have a purpose and an interest, it extends their life. People that don't feel they have a purpose or a friend, or their longevity is limited. And so programs like what we've been doing are fabulous. And those are 2 facilities. I just hope you can keep on your radar.
Well said. Well said. That's one of the great things about the El Casa Senior and Community Center. It's been around since '92, and it really helps form relationships. So we need to always get the word out, especially for people moving into our area. So appreciate that.
Yep. Yeah, I think you guys do a great job, and keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't have any questions, but I do want to thank you, Richard, for your time as a chair this year. You've done a great job with that. It's been my privilege to serve as the liaison from the City Council to the Senior Advisory Committee this past year. And, you know, you've done some great things down there. You got a great committee, great Parks and Community Services staff, fantastic volunteers, the Senior Foundation, you mentioned them, helping out with the fundraising efforts, but just all the programs you do, from the Live Well Resource Fair, the drop-in and registration classes, the lunch program, the different trips that you take, the senior, the tech days with the teens, computer stuff, all the things that you guys are doing, and even starting back up the movies, and got TED Talks going on now. There's so many things going on for our seniors, and I know that committee has their hands in a lot of that, and I really appreciate everything that y'all do. It's been a great year, and I look forward to seeing what the committee does in 2024.
Thanks very much. Colette Clark is really big on the TED Talk, as you probably know, and we appreciate your input from the city council, because I will report on some of that, but you always have all the details. I might miss a detail, but you fill that in. You're very good at really helping us understand what is going on in the city council, and you're also friendly and a good guy to have around. So I appreciate that very much. Thanks for the opportunity to.
I had one other thing, and I don't know who you'd have do it, but it would probably be good to find out where the Blue Ribbon Task Force is right now in their deliberations, because a lot of people will be using some of the recommendations. For example, we came up with the 1 seat, 1 ride, so that you don't have to put 2 people in it, like our linked service. The problem is that the bus that we were testing only had 1 seat, so County Connection couldn't use it, but they should become, the Accessible Transportation Task Force should be coming up with some recommendations soon. And the person that we had on it from County Connection went to CCTA, where and so, I mean, she might be a good person to have come out and discuss it. And another person would be Chris Weeks, actually was working on this when he was with Bishop Ranch on that electric bus that they have, and you can park it in a regular parking space.
Right.
Because that may be the next way we go when we start looking for replacements over there.
Yeah,
And
he's
find a
somebody I should
driver.
have mentioned to, transportation manager. It's very important.
Now,
for
he's
seniors.
really up on it, but that's going to be a game changer when you can have just 1 call through your dispatch, and they can dispatch for 1 person instead of having to wait until you line them all up. And you can go, I mean, we can go into AC Transit's area without having to switch over. Not having to switch buses is huge for people.
Oh, yeah.
Sridhar, do you have something?
Sure. Thanks, Richard, for sharing your goals, accomplishments, as well as your future goals. They look good. So I work pretty closely with our Dougherty Valley senior community, and when they saw this agenda item, they sent me some list of items to talk with you. One of the thing definitely is about bus trips, especially covering some of the areas within Gale Ranch, Piccadilly, as well as Tassajara area, because most of them, they are saying that they're at this point, most of they're dependent on their kids or their children, right, to transport them around. So having bus facility will help them big time. Also, that helps them to commute to our senior center. So that's always one of the reasoning that they are not able to come to senior center, is because they don't have right transportation facility.
Yes, Steve, why don't you address that?
Yeah, the Senior Express van runs Monday through Friday, and we'll pick up any San Ramon resident anywhere in San Ramon, so including that area. So we maybe can connect those individuals with that information. They just need to let us know when they need to be picked up. We pick up in the morning. We will bring a resident to the Alcasa Senior Community Center, and then towards the end of the day, after activities and maybe the lunchtime meal, we can also take them back to that same residence in San Ramon. So that is available. Now, it is to and from the senior center, but it does allow individuals to get out and about, and they can go and do those items from the senior center, and then, but we will return them back sometimes, usually after lunch around 1 o'clock.
Okay, and it can be from any part of the San Ramon. They should be able to use this service
anywhere within the city of San Ramon city limits.
City limits, okay. And is there any charges for that, or is it a free service?
There is a fee. So there's if it's $4 for the San Ramon resident. If you're an Encore member, it is a $3 trip. So we have quite a few who become Encore members, but it's not required.
Okay, so $4 per trip. and it is to and fro from the senior center.
Yes, yes,
Okay, so
we'll
that's-
pick you up at the residence where they are and then bring you to the Alcosta Senior Community Center, and then we'll bring you back to your resident.
Okay. I remember we used to have like Go San Ramon. Do we still have that?
We still
President?
have the Go San Ramon program, so it has a certain geocached area that is expanding within San Ramon. If somebody uses that through a ride, one of the ride sharing items, they get up to 50% off of that trip, up to $5. So it kind of replaced that fixed transportation line that was down San Ramon Valley Boulevard, but it will get you out to the Dublin BART station. It will get you to some of the regional medical centers here in San Ramon, and then it kind of follows that San Ramon Valley corridor there. And we do have pamphlets at our center, both in English and in Mandarin, that can explain what that geocached area is. So it'll get you up to, as mentioned, up to $5 off or 50% off up to that $10 ride.
Oh, okay. And again, once again, this can be any within any part of the San Ramon, or is
No,
it?
there's a boundary for that.
There is a geocache boundary that falls in that. So that's kind of outlined on the pamphlet. And I believe that is, it's available at our center. And I believe if on our transportation site, we can have that available as well.
Okay. Is it
On the,
is there any scope that are we planning to expand that for Old San Ramon?
I know that that would be a question I'd give to Chris Weeks in
The pilot
transportation.
program, we'll see.
Becky might
Becky's
even
back
be able
there
to
Chomping at the
expand
bit.
on this part of it.
Yeah.
Good evening. So as Steve was saying, it is a geocached area. And so it did take place of the fixed route service that was occurring on San Ramon Valley Boulevard. And at the same time that Go San Ramon was developed, the fixed route service for Doherty Valley was expanded. And so right now, the geocached area goes up to Montevideo. We just expanded that earlier this year. And we geocached Deer Creek Senior Housing right beside the Doherty Station Community Arts Center. And so it does not cover at this point most of Doherty Valley because we have extensive fixed route service in that area. And we do not want to take people from our fixed route buses and put them into a single vehicle because that kind of defeats the purpose of our mass transportation. And so this is a partnership between the city and the County Connection. And so right now there is, at this point, right now today, there is no plan to expand it into the Doherty Valley. But that's not to say that it won't happen in the future, but it really depends on that fixed route service because we want to reduce traffic congestion and get people onto the buses so that we can get them to the BART stations and to the other points of interest within San Ramon, Dublin, that sort of area.
And Ruby Horta just fought to get the fixed route out there. So
Exactly.
I wouldn't expect it to change soon.
Exactly, yes.
So when we're saying fixed routes, for example, if you take in Doherty Valley, so do we have buses that runs within the Doherty Valley?
Yes.
All the streets?
Yes, there's
I know-
multiple
I know-
routes.
Yeah, I know there is a bus runs, but is the bus runs throughout like Doherty Valley?
Yes, there's extensive bus routes that go
Ex-
throughout Doherty Valley. But Chris Weeks would be the best person to answer the question, but I do believe, and we can look at it, I do believe that we have the
Brochures out there.
brochures right outside the area, right outside the door here this evening.
Sounds good.
Thank you for
And,
bringing that up too.
you're
We
welcome.
need to get more brochures that go San Ramon in English.
Okay, I think we have some of those at the senior center, so we can or we have them at one of our sites, we can
Community Center
reallocate.
was out the last time I looked.
Okay, we'll take a look at that. Thank you.
Okay, now, my next question is about, the one which they submitted. They're looking for some additional seating in San Ramon Sports Park. We have the shading area in San Ramon Sports Park, right? So within the sports park area, they wanted to have additional seating. Because the group increased so much that whatever the current seating is available, so it's not sufficient for them. So that's one thing that they are looking for help. I think they even opened the ticket. I don't know if they opened already. Yeah, so that's one other thing. Then another request is about pediatric specialist specialty. I don't know how much as a city we can help with that, but is there any scope that can we see we can bring any pediatric specialist hospitals within the city?
What kind of specialist? Pediatric?
Pediatric, yeah.
Pediatrics is children.
For children, yeah. So because most of these grandparents, they take their grandkids to these hospitals. So every time when they're going, it's becoming very challenging for them that they have to take them to the other cities. And most of these parents are two working parents and they're depending on their grandparents. So that's why they are asking, is there any scope for us to have a pediatric specialty hospital within San Ramon? You don't need to answer this question, but I'm giving you
able
the
to
list,
answer
yeah.
that question
Yeah,
there.
so that's another thing. And also about the Arlington Sunshade, I know this, I'm sure Kathy knows about this one, their request about Arlington Sunshade. This came up when I was Parks Commission, as member of the Parks Commission. So do we have any plans or any dates when we are going to get this done? If you have info, that's fine, but
We do what, 2 or 3 a year, right? Yeah.
okay. So that's, I think that's, give me one more minute. Yeah, that's pretty much they asked for. And thanks once again for all your great work. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, seniors. I don't believe we need a motion for this. Without objection, I just say that City Council thanks you for your work and we accept your report.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can get that other stuff for you too.
Appreciate
Get an electric bus for you with 1 seat. And more brochures. Thank you, Steve. Next item, please.
Item 10, city manager and city council members' comments and matters initiated.
The much awaited senior manager comments.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Council. If John Bell's kids are still watching on YouTube, not only is he a YouTube star, but he works at a pretty cool place where we have a Letters to Santa mailbox in our rotunda. And I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that you could still mail your letter to Santa until Monday, December 18th in our rotunda. And the rotunda is open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 p.m. and you will receive a reply. So make sure you put your address there. So come down and visit your dad if you're still watching on YouTube. It's a pretty nice rotunda. We got some great stuff out there. Also going on, wrapping up our holiday season, we do have the San Ramon Community Chorus holiday concert this Sunday, December 17th at 2 p.m. at the San Ramon Community Center, and that's free admission. And then we have the San Ramon Symphonic Band Holiday Festival concert. That's Friday, December 22nd at 7 p.m. at the Doherty Valley Performing Arts Center. And you can find tickets and info at sanramonperformingarts.com. And with that, that wraps up my report, and wishing everybody a happy holiday season, and just reflecting on this holiday season. Not only do we have a great staff and a great community, but we do have a lot of holiday activities in this city. And I read a few articles about some cities that were nominated for having the most holiday spirit. And I bet you if they knew about us, and I'll make sure that
They'd
they
give
do
up?
next year. Yeah, they'd give up because, you know, from the Christy Yamaguchi skating rink that kind of kicks off the season to everything that we got going at City Hall and the community, the Central Park. It's just a great holiday season. So thank you for all involved in putting
you.
together all those activities. And that's all that I have.
Okay, Sridhar, you want to start us off? Or then we'll go
Sure,
to Mark?
yeah. No committee meetings, but I attended community events. On December 1st, attended our Bishop Ranch City Center tree lighting. And on Saturday 2nd, attended 3 events. One is with our Avanti Heights residents. They had a safety, neighborhood safety meeting, gathering. So thanks to Chief Carlson for joining us. And they were pretty good attendance, like around 80 community members. They joined us and shared their concerns about the current burglary that is happening within the city. So burglary is happening within the city. So thanks, Chief, for providing the updates and also providing the suggestions on how they can prevent these burglaries. So appreciate that. And community members, they got your feedback and they're working on getting the flocks. Looks like that is one of their top choice, and also working towards getting their neighborhood added more with HOA work. They're going to add more safety security measures. So that's the, and the next on the same day, attended San Ramon City tree lighting with all of you. It was great celebration. And then on December 2nd, attended San Ramon Cricket Annual Awards. That was adult awards, adult cricket awards. There were like 50 cricket teams played in the league. And by the way, we won the championship. Not to brag about it, but definitely thanks to our Parks and Community Services Department for working with our San Ramon Cricket Association. And throughout the year, it's like, I know it's a lot of work for you guys, and it's amazing. In the end, the whole event went pretty good. Thanks for that. And what else? On Wednesday, attended our Chamber of Commerce Business Awards, Business and Community Awards. It was really wow, awesome. And thanks once again for hosting such a fantastic event within the community. And also on Thursday 7th, attended our Contra Costa County Mayor's Conference in our Rotunda, in Community Center, but then we had dinner in the Rotunda. So it was very well done. Thank you once again for all the great work. Wish you all happy holidays.
Mark, you want to?
Yeah, thank you. I attend a lot of the same events, so I'm not going to go into too much of them, but the city center tree lighting, or San Ramon community tree lighting ceremony, you know, as you mentioned, we got a lot of great things going on, a busy holiday season, but that was a lot of fun. We had the carolers and the string quartet, and then a brass band. Santa showed up, had some crafts and hot chocolate, and yeah, and the big fire on the screen. So that was a lot of fun. Well done on that. That morning was also the Bah Humbug Run. It was a 5K, and then they had a kids dash also. This year was a little was special in that they had some costume competition as well. They had competition for the most Grinch-like, best holiday spirit, best group theme, and best dog costume. It was a lot of fun. Mayor was there, Councilmember Rubio was there as well, and we got to hand out some ornaments and medallions as they came across the finish line, then hand out awards to the winners as well for the different categories. On the 3rd, I attended it was called the Nutty Nutcracker. It was done by the East Bay Dance Company over at the Doherty Valley Performing Arts Center. A fun evening, kind of a modern take on the Nutcracker. And then, as mentioned earlier, on the 4th was a recent senior advisory committee meeting, and we did recognize Phil and Cam Reed as volunteers. They have the senior recognition program goes for several months out of the year. They are recognized for the months of January through April of 24. We also received a presentation by Carrie Parker on trash-free San Ramon and the whole kind of the recycling, reduce, reuse, recycle program. And it was interesting to note that we're going to be able to use the solid waste fund to help purchase some commercial dishwashers, not just at the senior center, but the other community centers or other places as well, as I understand it. Let's see, on the 6th, I was also at the Chamber WOW Awards, and on the 8th of December, I got to participate again with Councilmember Veros at a ribbon cutting for a couple restaurants down in Dublin, a couple of Indian restaurants, a South Indian cuisine and a North Indian cuisine, but they have San Ramon managers. That's why we were there to kind of wave the flag for the city of San Ramon. That was a fun event. And then also just recently with Mayor Hudson, we on the 10th, we attended the VFW Post 75 awards dinner. recognized our San Ramon Police Officer of the Year, Brady McKinney, and also the kind of the Joint Police Department and Fire District Dispatcher of the Year. That was Dina Taylor. Also the Danville Police Officer of the Year, the Scout of the Year, and then also a student essay winner who talked about and read her essay on what it means to be an American. It was very touching, very inspirational. And I think that's all I've got. Thank you.
That's plenty. Thank you, Scott.
I went to the East Bay Regional Communications System Authority Board meeting. That's the radio system that serves the first responders in Alameda and Contra Costa County. We elected Chief Paige Meyer as the chairman, and Chief Love of the Oakland Housing Authority is our vice chair. We had briefings on what's called TDMA, which is time division multiple access, which effectively doubles the capacity of the radio system. Encryption, which is being mandated by Department of Justice related to privacy information on people that are being, information is being passed over the radio. Got a briefing on the Antioch Walton Lane. There's a gap in the coverage. The Contra Costa County Martinez, there's a new radio tower that's helping us out. The Wiedemann, up on the Wiedemann Hill, we've got a new tower that's almost operational, which will cover up the Bollinger Canyon. Plus it'll cover the Faria project where there's a couple little gaps. So that was when we had the DVOC at which is the Dougherty Valley Operations Committee. I was elected the chair. Karen Stepper is the vice chair. We had briefings on Gale Ranch, the Dougherty Village Center. It's a smaller retail anticipated kind of at the south end. This Chamberlain gave us a briefing on the dissolution of DVOC at some time in the distant future, when my children will probably be grandparents or something like that. And it'll allow us to streamline payments and the community facilities fund. And of course, somebody had to bring up light rail in Dougherty Valley, which is a non-starter. There is an opportunity for something else called glideways. Dave, you familiar with glideways?
Yeah.
This is a fairly narrow vehicle that carries 2 passengers, and it's an autonomous vehicle. And while we're not going to put it in bike lanes, it would fit in bike lanes. It's a narrow vehicle, so that might be an opportunity going forward. But light rail is not going to go into Dougherty Valley. So if anybody's listening, it ain't going to happen. We did have a briefing on Route 35 and Route 235, which covers San Ramon from the Transit Center. We had a report from the school district and how they're dealing with the new housing things that are going into the city center area in the core of the city. They are taking out some units at Dougherty Valley High School and Gale Ranch Middle School and Windermere Ranch Middle School, because those populations are decreasing. And briefed on the long range facility master plan, which includes what they call TK facilities. Went to a SWAT meeting in Orinda on the 4th. Talked about East Bay Regional Park District and a grant award to rehab a portion of the Iron Horse Trail from Alcosta to Montevideo. So that's right smack through the middle of your district there, Mr. Armstrong. There's a lot of cracking and separations on the Iron Horse Trail. And so this rehab project will take care of that. There's $700,000, $500,000 from Measure J out of their PED bike fund and $200,000 from the Park District. And then we had a briefing on the current status of the Innovate 680 program. It's actually 6 programs that are designed to improve traffic flow from roughly Sunol to Martinez. And there's hundreds of millions of dollars worth of work to be done there. And that's moving forward. And of course, we had the WOW Awards and a whole bunch of other cool stuff around town. But that's it.
Okay, sounds like we're pretty busy. I won't repeat most of what you heard tonight, but I do want to go back to the mayor's conference. And there was an unofficial survey done because all of the cities bragged about what they were doing for the December and their tree lightings. So the unofficial report was who had the best tree lighting, and it was a very unbiased report, and I determined it was San Ramon. What are the advantages of being the chair? I just can't thank staff enough, and Karen McHenry Smith in particular, for the job they did. I mean, we really look good. I mean, the fire was warm. So if anybody sees the fire, don't call 911. We are not burning up. But the tree lighting in San Ramon at the city center and here in Central Park was something to behold. I thought we had about 1,000 people at City Center for the tree lighting and again for the Hanukkah lighting of the menorah. And it's very popular. And I don't know if we had that many for this tree lighting, but I particularly enjoy going by it every night. And Kathy, if you're there, I didn't mean you had double the lights on that tree, but I mean, I think everybody I've talked to loves that lighting. So it isn't doubling down. It's just more of something that's really, really good. Don't know how we're going to pay for it, but that's going to come up in the retreat. Outside of that, it's been a very good year and we still have more. And thank you very much for a wonderful job. And thank you to my council members who stuck around to give out the awards at Bah Humbug. Because like you can see, we don't just have one thing a day, they just add up. The VFW was the second thing we did that night. And the awards were some very well-deserved people. And we'll be hearing more about Brady, I'm sure, for his award when Dent has to give a report. Enough of our report. What's
Before
next?
you
Go
adjourn, I
ahead.
think I'll speak for the mayor and the whole council, how much we appreciate the city manager, city attorney, and all the staff and all the wonderful things you guys have done this past year. And I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll have another good year next year. And thank you again.
Okay, next item, please.
Item 11, adjournment.
Oh, I love that part. We are adjourned.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.